Okay, so what would you say is the worst disorder that could be carried out through your body? Well, there are a few, but for now, let's talk about DNA, then I'll go into a disorder I think is kind of bad. Okay, so DNA are the rules that help create the proteins that make us who we are. So DNA is stored in the nucleus and comes in the shape of a ladder that has been twisted. The structure is made that way, so it's easier to copy DNA when it's time to replicate. So DNA is used so we can keep track of genetic information, so we can pass it down to the next set of cells. That will then pass it down to the other set of cells. It keeps going down. Um, Genes are sections of DNA that contain the code to make protein. While these little pieces of protein are used to help create the certain parts to our body. For example, our eye color is controlled by protein, and our hair color, and even our skin color. Well, maybe not our skin color. It can always change because of a tan or something. Um, I keep talking about cells passing down their DNA. Maybe I should go into more. Well, before cells can do this or split, DNA replication will occur and take place during S phase, which takes during place during interphase. When the DNA finally goes through the process of DNA replication, the DNA will be split into half or will be unzipped by the helicase. The helicase will, when it has unzipped the DNA, will rebuild itself by using the polymers, mirase, I don't know, and but next time it'll be two separate pieces. So another fact about DNA is that it's very different from genes and chromosomes, even though like everyone thinks it's the same thing. Genes are sections of DNA, while chrom like while chromosomes are composed of DNA and protein. So to go farther into proteins can be used for two things. The first thing is that proteins can build like certain structures in our body, such as our muscle and our tissue and our even our hair. And they can also be used as enzymes. And you're probably wondering what why enzymes? But if they come in the shape of an enzyme, they can control our chemical reaction in our body. So without proteins, first of all, if we didn't have what we would look like, we would probably just be a bunch of weird blobs. And because we have enzymes, we're not going to the hospital every few minutes, which is a good thing. So proteins are helping. Proteins are held together by bonds and are built together by amino acids, which use codons to make these proteins. So proteins are built when we take our DNA and turn it into a cheap version or cheap pirated version called RNA. Not much of a difference, just D and R. So DNA is like the blueprints, while RNA is the cheap copies of those blueprints. So, anyways, the RNA is turned into mRNA, which is really just the same thing, and from there it's sent to a ribosome. And this ribosome takes the blueprints, which is the RNA, the mRNA, and calls on the amino acids to help like create the protein. So the amino acids start putting in their codons, and from there, proteins made. Okay, so I've told you about DNA, genes, and proteins. Now I have to talk about the disorder I chose, and the disorder I chose was color blindness. Stupid fly. Um, I chose color blindness is just what it sounds like. It's when you can't see colors, but don't worry because most of the time, um, it's really all you can't see is red and green, maybe blue and yellow. Quite rare. Not too bad, I guess. Color blindness is rare, so getting blue and yellow makes it more rare. So, in the worst cases, though, it can actually be black and white like a dog's, and that's not really good because, well, it just makes you feel like you're living in a really old movie. Ew. Okay, so the mutation or mistake that would be one of your chromosomes got actually messed up because you carried a bad chromosome. And really, it's only guys who have color blindness because girls have a certain chromosome that backs them up for whatever reason. They just have a good chromosome that helps them. But us guys, it's we don't have that certain chromosome, so it's every man for himself. Um, so yeah, girls are lucky, guys unlucky, like that. Okay, so we can also get color blindness is really just a messed up cell because you do either don't have one or it's just not working. That cell is called a cone cell. It's in your eyes. I don't want to go too far into it because it's just it's just saying something. Okay, so color blindness can also come from it can the codons. Sorry, the cone. The cone cell can like be turned off or something if you get hit in the eye, like an injury, maybe like whacked there or something. Um, okay, color blindness. The symptoms of color blindness. They sound easy to recognize, but really it can be tough because someone with color blindness might not even know there's something like going on with them. Because it feels so normal to them. So you might realize something is wrong when your friends keep talking about their favorite color and they keep describing this color and you're like, what's red or what's this green they keep talking about? It's not like you're not gonna know the words, but it's just not gonna come to your mind as fast. Um, what people with color blindness can't do is see the normal colors we see, and even at times they can't even get certain jobs like us because like a fireman or a police officer they might not be able to see the same things, so they need the normal color. Um, now the disorders pass through inheritance, but it can come from old age, like from 40 to 70, and if you're unlucky, 40 to 70, like I said. And your life isn't shortened or anything, but it can be dangerous. For example, if you're driving on a road and a traffic light comes, you come to a traffic light and it's like red, yeah, red, yellow, and green. But luckily, many colorblind people have trained themselves to remember the colors. Not that it's hard or anything, but it helps. So yellow being in the middle, red being at the top, green being at the bottom, like we all know. Um, Being colorblind is not actually too bad. There's advantages. For example, did you know that in World War II, colorblind soldiers were put into spy planes, and when they flew overhead, they were used to actually spot hidden German camps, and they could actually see those camps. Pretty amazing. Um, Today we sadly don't have a treatment to inherited colorblindness, but we do have contact lenses and even glasses made for people who are colorblind. For children, the sooner you get a child for help for colorblind, the better. You want to get them to a hospital or clinic as fast as you can. Um, so remember, there's still hope, and people are still trying to find ways to help treat colorblindness. I'm Raymond Briers, and thanks for watching my film.